Well, you know music, and you can count all the way up to two.
All the way up to 6 if I had to.
Look at this. It only took me like half a year to figure the basics.
What is this, episode 17 we're
God.
doing?
Yeah, I just now figured it out. So it's been what, 2 weeks? We've been slacking.
It's been 1 week. Yeah.
My brain's all fucking. Man, I had a long week. I've been sleeping like kind of shitty too.
What time you going to bed? Normal?
Normal, but I kind of lay there awake. But it's probably because I've been exercising a little bit later than I probably should. Like 8 o'clock. So I'm done by like 8. No, I'll done by like 8:30, and I go to bed at like 10. I don't think that's enough time for my body to.
You probably like exercise, probably shower,
Mm-hmm.
and that you're probably wide awake.
Yeah, exercise, shower, I eat food, so that's like a triple whammy there. Of like wake up, my body's like.
I love working out late at night though.
I do too, but I don't like going to sleep after. Like I don't like having to go to work the next day because I'm forced to sleep and it's hard for
Yeah,
me.
that sucks.
Yeah. But I've started taking ashwagandha.
I
Did I
have
tell you
some.
that? I like ashwagandha a lot.
What it was
It helps me
for?
sleep.
I think Alex got it for anxiety.
It lowers your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. That's what people feel, which is great. And I totally notice it. 100%.
Really?
100%. It took about a week, and I just kind of sat there one day, and I was like, Took a deep breath. I was like, man, I've been like super like chilled out,
I'm
like,
chill.
but in not like a in your face way. Like I just kind of, I don't know. I feel pretty good.
That's good.
So I noticed it's working, and then my sleep. When I do sleep, I stay asleep through the night, and I think that's part of what it accomplishes. But it's hard for me to fall asleep still.
I'm really lucky. I've never ever had an issue with sleep.
Which is
Like,
awesome.
I can fall asleep standing up,
Yeah, no.
sitting down. When I get into bed, and I like at 12:30 is usually when I put my phone down, set my alarms.
12:30.
12:30.
No wonder you fall asleep.
I know. Like
Holy
I need to go
crap.
to bed earlier. It's really bad.
You get up at 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta improve our sleep.
Yeah.
Because you're probably awake for some of that and don't know it. Like me on my Fitbits and my Apple Watches, I thought my Apple Watch was lying to me, but my Fitbit says the exact same thing. That tells me that I'm awake for like 40 minutes a night, and I don't even like I have micro wake up sessions. I don't even realize it. Like I wake up for like 3 minutes and I go back to bed. I find that interesting. I did not know that. So I'm asleep for say I go to bed for 7 hours total. I'm asleep for like 6 hours and 20 minutes. So you're probably not even getting 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah. I think it probably takes me at least 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to fall asleep
That's
usually.
not bad at all. That means you're able to chill your mind out at night too. It's like sometimes my brain likes to discuss existential dread. When
I
should be
get it.
sleeping.
There's the occasional night where I just lay there. I'm like, fuck. When I came back from Japan in October last year, I think it was for like 4 whole days. My sleep was pretty fucked, and then I was supposed to go into work. It was like a Thursday, or it was a Friday. It was a Thursday night, and I just laid there for 2 hours, and I'm like, okay, well I can't sleep, so I got out of bed and started watching anime. And I'm like, okay,
What you do when
I'm
you
like,
can't sleep,
it's
yeah.
fucking 3:30. Then next thing I know, it's 4:30 in the morning, and then it was 5 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I'm not going into work today, so I went to
No.
Starbucks and just sat in there and studied for a little bit at 6 a.m.
How do you? I always felt like whenever that happened to me, that has happened to me for a while, where I stayed up the whole night. I would feel like I don't know, like a dread. Like I was like, I don't know, I just didn't feel right. I felt really like shitty in the morning if I didn't sleep. Like I don't know. Obviously you feel shitty, but it's like I don't want to do anything because I feel like crap now.
Yeah, I get it. And
I get like anxiety.
I wanted to sleep once I got home, but I'm like, I'll sleep till fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah.
and that kills your whole day.
Yep. My friend in high school, Andrew, used to challenge himself to how long he could stay awake. And he would stay awake for 2 days at a time, like regularly, sometimes longer, probably not more than 3. But he would come to school, and it would be like a big deal for him to stay up 2.5 days. And he just, hey, dude.
Just a zombie.
Oh, my God. He's just wonking out. And I'd like spend the night at his house, and he would just stay up the whole night and just do whatever. Most energy of all time.
I kept reading, I think it was my sophomore year of high school. I was working part-time for like a junk removal thing. And before I started there, I wanted to enjoy my summer a little bit. So I'm like, hey, I'll start like next week or something. And I wanted to see how long I could stay up. I at least wanted to do 3 days because I read on Reddit that typically if you stay up past like 48 hours going up to 72, you have hallucinations. You start seeing things.
So I was trying to get high off the lack of sleep.
I was trying to get high on life, dog. I was trying to see what was really there.
Did you see anything?
No, I didn't.
Did you stay up for that long?
No.
How long did you stay up for?
Probably a little over 24 hours.
I don't think I've ever gone past 24 hours. I don't think I want to.
That's fucking horrible for
Yeah,
you.
I have no desire to do that. I know some people that like stay up for weeks at a time. They do meth.
Yeah, amphetamines will do that.
It's probably helpful to do, you know, if you wanted to stay up for a few weeks at a time, not eat. Yeah. That's what I would do if I wanted to stay up.
Take some meth.
I always wonder, I thought about this last night. Okay, this is a good segue into the presidential debates because it has to
I
be,
wanted to talk about
has
that.
to be
'cause
brought up.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I know.
man.
But this is a great start to
Explain
that.
yourself.
Watching them last night, I kept thinking, I did watch like probably 30, 40 minutes of it.
Really?
Just like, yeah, just it's so fascinating to me.
Wow.
Cause my grandpa had it on Fox. So I was like, yeah, it's like 9 o'clock, whatever. I'll just watch it. But fuck. Oh, I watched that and I'm thinking these people are 80 years old. Okay. The next morning, Trump goes out golfing. Where do these people get the energy? I don't understand. They have so much to do. They're 80 years old. They're busy all the time, but they have hobbies. And when do you sleep? When do you have time to eat?
That is true. I don't really
How?
think about, for any president for that matter, I'd say for the majority of the people, they think of not the president as like a person. So you don't think they would have hobbies or a normal sleep schedule or sit down and have dinner, but they do. And they're still people.
But like, I don't get it. I get off work of my 8-hour button pushing job, and I feel like I just ran like a triathlon and hiked across America, and you know what I mean. Like I feel like I have to take a nap.
They're probably sipping energy drinks, dog. You got to get on that energy drink.
That's what I was gonna bring up. The methamphetamine part of what I was talking about. Like, these people have to be hopped up on amphetamines. Have to be. You're telling me Joe Biden,
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe, stood up there and delivered that speech and didn't like either stroke out or like fall asleep midway through? Bullshit. He's on amphetamines. Bullshit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They have to be on.
You
But then at the same time, it's like, aren't you worried about their health? Like their heart? You know what I mean? As an old person?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Maybe there's a secret presidential drug we don't
That's
know
what
about.
I swear to God, I was thinking that same thing. Like there has to be like some cocktail that we don't even have available to us that must be like a super drug.
It's like meth without the side effects.
I need some of that. Can you imagine? That'd be crazy.
Well, you have to become president.
Oh, I can do that.
That's the only way.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do it tomorrow. I just don't feel like it right now, or else I'd do it right now. But
You know what's cool about the age we're at? We're not old enough to run for president, so we're not that old.
35, right?
Yeah, we still
Wow.
still got some years of youth.
Wow, look at that, man. I'm a
So-
young buck.
Little silver lining there.
Yeah, I do feel like an old man,
Yeah.
but I'm only in my mid-20s. Fuck.
What is considered like early, mid, and late?
I'm not. I just thought about that. We're in our late 20s, actually. I hate saying
I'm
that.
26. Does that mean
You're in your late 20s.
I'm mid 20s? I'm mid 20s.
No, you're late 20s, bud.
No, I
20.
think 27.
20 to like 24 is early 20s. 25 is mid 20s, and anything past 25 is late 20s.
Oh, come on, dude.
I'm sorry.
Make an exception for 26.
I wonder though. That's a good. Maybe it's not. Well, let me look that up. Maybe it's like because that'll make me feel better about myself.
It might not. You might be in the old.
I know.
You're what, 26?
26.
Gonna be 27 this year?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Nope. We're mid 20s. 24 to 26 is mid 20s.
Hell
Fuck
yeah. Mid 20s.
That makes me feel so good.
I'm only
about
mid
myself.
20s.
Fuck you all. I'm fucking mid 20s. I'm a kid.
Yeah,
okay.
young. Mid 20s can't run for president because we're too young.
Yeah.
We still got a lot of life left.
Yeah, dude. I haven't wasted any potential yet. But the debates. Okay, I guess we can segue into that now.
So you watched a little bit.
Yeah.
You got
A good idea.
a taste of what was going on.
I watched most of it, I'd say, yeah.
Kind of fill me in. I didn't watch any. I was planning on it, but I didn't.
Okay.
I was reading comments, and most of them said something along the lines of they just kind of bickered back and forth. No policy was covered. It was like a shit fest.
It
all
was,
around.
yeah, I would say Trump looked 1,000 times better. However, lying his ass off, just like the other one.
That's what I heard. I heard Trump was lying through his teeth. Biden
Typical.
performed horribly,
Yeah,
did
it
a
was-
terrible job.
I mean, it was it was bad. When CNN posts a poll that says that 67% of voters said that Trump won the debate and 33% vote for Biden, you know it's bad. When
Yeah.
CNN is calling out, like, and Joe Biden, oh, dude, I gotta find this. Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Obama tweeted about how bad Biden's performance was and like excused it, and they're like, "Oh, thanks for your Trump endorsement, Obama," because he literally was like, "Yeah, we don't have our best nights and stuff like that."
It's hard to have a good night when you're 80 something years old.
I know.
Right?
So that, but to what that means is like that was so bad that Democrats are excusing his performance. Like that's really bad. He said bad debate nights happen. Trust me, I know. But this election is still a choice between someone who has fought for ordinary folks his entire life and someone who only cares about himself. Between blah 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 blah. But yeah, bad debate nights happen. If I was a Democrat, I wouldn't even bring attention to it. I would just be like, that didn't happen. He did great. So you know how to be rough.
Right, if they're calling it out.
I mean, I was watching it. Oh God! Within 30 seconds, I was laughing because they asked Biden something, and he goes, "A foreign policy was always."
Yeah, a lot of people were saying they couldn't hear him. He was mumbling real bad.
Anyways, and then Trump said, "What do you say?" He said,
Joe, you
Yeah,
stupid Joe.
"You stupid Joe." He's like, "I don't even know what he said. I don't even think he knows what he said." Anyway, everybody's laughing. But I like that they had the they muted the other person's microphone.
I heard they were supposed to do two things during that debate. Mute the mic while the other person is talking, and fact check, which they did not do.
No, they didn't fact check. But Biden had interesting. Biden administration. I don't want to say Biden because he's a fucking lost zombie puppet. The administration set up rules for the debate, or they wouldn't do it. They wanted no audience. They wanted the green light buzzers, mute the other person's microphone, and Biden refused a drug test before, which I find interesting.
He's probably hopped up on amphetamines.
But that was them. Oh, and then, man, this was awesome. Joe Biden walking him off the stage after the show. There was one stare. Trump walked right off like nothing. And Joe Biden had to get directed by his wife, Jill, off of the stage, and it took him about 15 seconds to get down one stair. And she had to, like, hold him, and he stared at it for, like, 10 seconds. And it just, it was so bad. Like, come on, guys. It's the best we can do. These two.
That was, I was thinking a little bit about this. I watched a video today by the Y-Files. Definitely suggest checking them out if you have the time.
Files.
He uploaded a new video a few hours ago. It was about DARPA. You know about DARPA?
I 100% have heard about this, and as soon as you say it, I'm going to remember it, but I cannot remember what it is.
So
It stands for something.
I can't remember exactly what the acronym stands for, but DARPA basically is a government organization that focuses on technological advancements for security reasons. Like, they develop things that are like 20 years ahead of where we're actually at.
That's a much better explanation than I was going to tell you. Cause
I just watched the video. Hopefully I'm still pretty fresh on it. But he was just going through things that, like, DARPA's done and whatever that. And then towards the end of the video, we got to Vietnam and Agent Orange. Now, I didn't exactly know much about Agent Orange. I knew it was a chemical. People got fucked by it, and that's kind of all I knew. But basically, it was a chemical. It was used in Vietnam for like 8 or 9 years, and multiple times, or it was used on like civilians' farms, just forced, just pretty much just to kill any plant life around, so the Viet Cong could not hide in it. And so many people were exposed to it. And one thing he touched on that where I'm trying to make the segue is the U.S. did not acknowledge the use of Agent Orange as a war crime, even though, by definition, multiple times, the use of Agent Orange should have been considered a war crime. And the U.S. is like, no, it's not us. And they finally admitted, they didn't admit anything. They still do not admit that the use of Agent Orange was a war crime, or they really don't take responsibility for it. But the VA, in I think 1991, finally started working with vets and giving them money and help for those who were exposed to Agent Orange. And he said his dad in 1991 applied for benefits, and that's really cool. But he didn't get those benefits until 2021, 30 years after he applied for them. And over that period, even after his service in Vietnam, up until all this time, probably now still, has been suffering from side effects from Agent Orange, pretty much everything you can think of, aside from birth defects, which is fucking crazy. So people in America are focused on, right now, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, two extremely old men who couldn't really give a rat's ass about any of us. Meanwhile, the government is going underneath everyone's noses and doing a bunch of shady shit, moving money where it shouldn't, discrediting war crimes, and the people are like, haha, funny Joe Biden. Look at his face. Evil orange man said, I don't know, some
They should call
stupid
Donald
shit.
Trump Agent Orange. That's
Yeah,
a good
kinda
name for
funny.
him. I think that's the goal of the government is distraction. It's like they put two puppets for their show to watch while, like you're saying, they go under the table and kill their own citizens and come up with horrible things on a daily basis.
It's kind of extremely
laundering.
aggravating, especially when people say, I mean, I'm low-key guilty of this. I think you are as well, because we don't vote. When someone says something along the lines of, oh, really? Like, this is the best the Democratic or Republican Party can do? These two old heads? It's like, well, you fucking gave them that opportunity. You know, they're in the primaries because either you didn't vote or you voted for them to be there. Now, call me crazy, but out of the three, or let's just say two, was RFK was
independent.
He was independent. That guy seems way more presidential, well put together, significantly younger.
But I want to cough when I hear him talk.
I know, but
yeah, you're right.
it's like look at the two people that just went and debated last night. They're incoherent, babbling fucks. They're ridiculous. It's crazy that those two people, one of them will be representing the U.S. again. Like, we've already had one term of Trump, and we've already had a term of Biden. It's the two, and everyone bitched about them. Like, one side was so against it, and the other side was so against Biden and so against Trump, yet we're literally back to square one. We went back 8 years to 2016.
Yeah. I think people, the people that didn't hate Trump, I think they really liked him, like, a lot. And I think that's why he's back in that position, because of that cult following that he had.
And
no one else would vote for the Republican candidate unless it was Trump. Like, the Republicans would not have stood a chance if they didn't put Trump in as the candidate.
I don't want to say, and this goes for Republicans and Democrats, because look who our fucking Democratic nomination is. It's Joe Biden again. That's fucking ridiculous. And I don't want to say these people who subscribe to these cults are uneducated, but fuck, dude. Like, can you just dig an inch past surface level bullshit and take a look at what you're really voting for?
No.
I mean, come on.
Do you think that people know that they're not voting for these two fuckers and they're voting for the belief system and administration behind them?
No, they have no fucking
No, you're
idea.
Right. That was probably too deep of a thought there for them.
Absolutely none. Like, no one thinks about, say you vote Trump into office, no one thinks about the cabinet he brings along with him or who's going to go into the Supreme Court. They just see the figurehead, the cult leader of this organization, and say, this is the guy who I want running the country. He's going to call the shots.
Project 2025, you heard of that?
I have, but
that's
I
kinda,
don't know a damn thing about it. I'm going to be honest.
I know I read a thing on it last week, and I read it from the actual website, and I was like, oh, this is not good. God, I'm gonna have a hard time remembering it, but basically it was a dictatorship type government that Trump wants to instill. Like he wants one person able to make massive decisions, and I don't like that. And they're gonna take away rights from people in the LGBTQ community. Let me read it. I don't want to fuck it up.
I'm curious. I don't know anything about it, so.
But I just remember feeling a little uneasy when I read it.
I've seen it thrown around a lot, and none of it has been good. Everyone has been very against it or very afraid of it. To me,
I don't like
so
it.
far, it just feels kind of like a conspiracy type deal. But I also don't know anything
I
about
thought
it.
it was too until I read it, and it's like, oh, okay. Oh, and they want to return religion to schools.
They're already starting to do that.
Yeah, and
I
that's
saw
gonna
in
make
multiple states already. What was it? You either have to say a prayer or they're hanging religious images in public schools.
It's not good. So, as the New Republic knows, Project 2025 is a remarkably detailed guide to turning the United States into a fascist, can't say the word, fascist paradise. The document of 2025, the magazine explains, lays out what is essentially a Christian nationalist vision of the United States, one in which married heterosexuality is the only valid form of sexual expression and identity. All pregnancies will be carried to term, even if that requires coercion or death, and transgender and gender non-conforming people do not exist. And although that's like a shit on that article, that's exactly what it said in the actual on the website of.
That's just kind of like
Just in long
a
form.
TLDR
Yeah.
I didn't read.
More or less. So the best way to describe that was that Christian nationalist vision of the United States is 100% true. That's all that is, which I don't like, personally.
You know, it goes against the foundation of this country as a whole, separation of church and state.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And which is really ironic because usually the Republican Party is so, fuck yeah, the Constitution, the amendments,
God, guns.
the Bill of Rights.
Yeah. Which I think that so many of those people, that's regurgitation. I don't think a lot of them even truly believe what they're saying or really realize what they're saying. They're just regurgitating what they think they should say. If a Republican came out and said, I don't believe in the Christian God, you think he'd get votes?
No, you get
No.
burned at the
They
stake.
burn at the stake. So even if they don't believe the shit they're saying, they have to say it, which I don't like in politics. I mean, there's so many things I don't like about politics. It's just a game of bullshit.
Whether or not you're Republican or Democrat, if you don't follow the Christian religion, you're not going to win the nomination or you're not
It's
going to win the
not-
presidency.
It's no bueno. Not good.
Yeah, you couldn't show up there and say, I don't believe in a God.
Mm-hmm. So we wouldn't win anything.
No, I'd have to lie through my teeth.
Yeah, aside from my retardation, on top of not believing in God, I wouldn't win anything. But yeah, that debate was really embarrassing, I think, for our country. If you were another country watching that, you would be licking your chops. You'd be like, wow, this is a shit show. Like China has to be watching that going, fuck.
Brother, Xi Jinping is probably laughing his ass off as
100%.
he's watching that.
100%.
He's like, one of these two guys are going to be head of that country over there.
Yeah. If you had to choose one, which one would you want in office? I was like putting people in these predicaments. Even if you disagree, you know who I'm going to choose, but you can disagree.
I
with me.
think Trump would probably do more damage, but if Biden goes into office, there's a good chance he's going to croak.
Right.
So Kamala Harris would be president,
Well, you don't want
and I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris.
I don't think anybody is. I don't
So
think even her party is.
It really is like pick your poison.
Yeah. Now, let's get in a political argument. You say that Trump would cause more damage. Yet under Trump, there was 0 new wars started. Under Biden, there's been 4.
I think that's just a case of good timing because if Russia still probably would have invaded Ukraine at one point. Say Trump was in office for 16 years. Russia was still probably going to invade Ukraine. Israel and Palestine were still probably going to go at each other. I think those two things are unavoidable. And to say that Trump had any real play in any of those is, I want to say, a bit arrogant.
But Putin even kind of said that about Trump, though, that he didn't invade. He didn't say that directly, but basically he didn't invade at that time because of the unpredictability.
Well, Trump seems like he's in Putin's pockets,
Seems like it.
and I totally buy it.
I always wondered about that, the Russia collusion, because all that shit was disproven in court, the collusion. So it was all a complete fabricated lie. So, but I see what you're saying still. The relationship seems a little, I don't know, interesting,
A little sussy.
a little sussy. But that could be I don't think that's a bad thing, though. Because Putin behaved for 4 years with Trump in office. Is being on
Okay,
good terms
well,
a bad thing with Russia?
Let me pose this question then. Do you see Barack Obama as a more powerful, just better leader than Trump?
No.
You don't at all?
No. I think Obama was a fucking disaster for our country.
I would
hated that.
much
Now,
rather
he was
have
charming.
I would much rather have Obama
Nope,
than Trump.
you're wrong. He sucked.
But Russia invaded Crimea in 2014 during Obama's office.
Mm-hmm.
So are you just playing on the unpredictability thing? Like, what's Trump going to do? We don't know.
I think that Trump is more of a. I would rather have if I was leader of another country, I would rather have a conversation with Obama than Trump, because Trump's more of an intimidating figure. Trump would be more of a leader intimidator. Obama's, I see what you mean by the leadership, but he's more of like a nice guy leadership. Trump is like a don't fuck with me type leader.
I think Trump just comes off as a firecracker, not so much as a don't fuck with me.
But the other countries don't want to fuck with the firecracker because if it goes off, you know what I mean? It's not good for them. He imposed a lot of harsh tariffs on other countries as well, and came at Middle Eastern countries hard when they acted out of pocket. Like it was like bomb the fuck out of them right now. Like,
So
fuck
he
you.
did what every other president did. Bomb
Yes.
the fuck out of the Middle East.
Yeah, if you're brown, fuck you, we're bombing you.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
located somewhere in the
Yeah.
middle.
Bush did it. Obama did it. Biden. They haven't really been in the Middle East as much as in the
We
past.
know
But
drone strikes have been going on.
It's
They've been
yeah.
killing people.
oh, Julian Assange. Man, I need you to learn about Julian Assange. He's so fascinating. You ever see the crimes that he released from WikiLeaks? It's
We
nuts, dude.
brought him up mildly.
I love Julian Assange. He just got released.
acquitted.
He got acquitted. America, you suck. You suck.
It's crazy, right, that you can go to prison for whistleblowing?
Yes, that is insane. So one of his crimes that he, so basically he hacked into databases, government databases, and withdrew documents that were damning to the United States government for war crimes. We were committing war crimes on a daily basis out in the open. Like, we know this, but seeing it in government documents was like, wow, that's true. Like, this is real, and there's a number to it. Like, for example, we killed 65,000 innocent civilians in the Middle East. Just people minding their business, no guns, no nothing, just killed them. Like 65,000. That's just a small number. That's what we know. That's insane to me. That's just one of them. 65. The spying on American citizens. Okay, why the fuck are you doing that? First of all, that's illegal. Like, why did nobody make a big deal about this? I mean, they did, but they didn't. There's like 25 different war crimes committed by our own government.
'Cause America
Some of our
doesn't-
own people.
Yeah, okay. This might be a hot take.
All right.
So
I like
my
hot
buddy
takes.
was getting on me one night about Japan and how they don't acknowledge their war crimes, and I was like, "Yeah, that's not okay." I said, "I think Japan should 100% acknowledge their war crimes because they did some fucked up shit during World War II, and that is a fact that needs to be acknowledged, and like the countries, the people need to be apologized to." And he was like, "Japan kind of sucks for that." I was like, that doesn't make Japan a really horrible place just based on that one little thing. I'm like, people fucked up, and also the U.S. could have held them way more accountable. So let's flip the dice a little bit. The U.S., it came out in those leaks and documents, has done a massive amount of war crimes, killed a lot of civilians.
More than Japan, I would probably argue.
I don't know about that.
Well,
but
yeah,
they killed
maybe in
a
the
lot
World
of
War II
fucking
they did all
people.
the fucking things. But modern day,
They killed just that small. That's a big number, but just that one instance of 65,000 people. And then, we talked about Agent Orange earlier. Let's throw the Agent Orange Vietnam war crimes into there. And it's also very known that
radiation
U.S.
testing.
troops would go in to Vietnam and just destroy fucking villages, rape women, kill
Children, women.
and the U.S. doesn't really acknowledge that. That gets brushed under the table. So every country that is at war commits war crimes. It should be avoidable, but
Yeah.
it's unavoidable.
But I hate that we play to the innocent, like, good guy propaganda. And our own citizens believe that.
America's the liberators.
But, man, do you look at NATO as a defensive organization or an offensive organization? Because I think they started as a defensive organization, but it seems like they've moved on offense with securing territory and encroaching on borders.
They probably push the goalpost to whatever need they need at the
want,
time.
Yeah.
So, like right now with Russia and Ukraine, they're on the defensive because if Russia goes into any NATO country, then we're going to call on Article 14 and we're going to be defensive about it.
Mm-hmm.
But like you were saying, that they want to add Ukraine into NATO before Russia invaded, that's definitely an offensive move. Pushing up against Russia's borders like that with NATO.
Yeah. I just, when you see a map in real time of what they've taken, it's like, okay, here's NATO, here's Russia, here's NATO over time. Like, we're just getting closer and closer. Now we want Ukraine.
You also have to think about it
As
as
part of the Soviet Union.
NATO, not so much, well, they are an entity, but these countries that they do take are
Peaceful.
willing to go into NATO.
That's the difference. That's the issue, yeah.
So, like, those leaders, I don't know if anybody has the population has a vote on whether or not they want to join NATO.
I don't think
But
so.
let's say they don't. Those leaders are willing to join NATO. So I wouldn't say it's so much as taking other countries, like an imperialism type
Mhm.
thing.
Well, yeah, it's not by force, but if you're
But-
Russia, you see it as
Yeah, you can definitely
what I
see
mean?
that as an act of mild aggression. And, if we're going to, I'll put on my tinfoil hat, and maybe NATO is, in a way, coercing these countries to join NATO so they can get closer to Russia. I have nothing to back that up, but there's something a little.
What's the
to think
angle
about.
of NATO with Russia? Besides just eliminate the power? But they're embarrassing themselves on a world scale already. We already know they're not that powerful. I mean, they are, but they're not. So what's the goal with Russia for NATO?
I
I
wanna say
never heard one.
the probably complete destruction. And that's kind of a bad term. I don't want to say destroy every
The
Russian city.
dismantling.
Yeah, the dismantling of the Russian state.
So basically the
Turn them into
Government.
a democracy.
Yeah.
Have them modernize with the rest of the West.
just leave them the fuck alone. Why can't they just do their own thing and we just leave them alone? If they would just stay, if they would behave, why can't Russia behave, first of all? But we got to behave too. Why can't we all behave? Fuck. It'd be so much easier. Like,
I think the biggest issue with all of it is nuclear weapons.
yeah. But we're not helping calm anybody. If you're Vladimir Putin, NATO is not inspiring me to give up my nuclear weapons or lay down my, like, stop threatening. They're not inspiring me to chill out. They're pissing me off.
I wonder what Putin's thoughts about NATO are. Like, do you think he's sitting in his room thinking that NATO's going to attack him at some point?
Yes. I think that if I had to say the thought process right now for his side, he's probably thinking the end goal of NATO is to start a war with Russia by putting troops in Ukraine they're gonna try to do something that's either they're gonna do something that's so pushy it forces Putin to enact, and then they're gonna call up on whatever Article 5, isn't that Article 5? Act of
I
War.
said 14. I could be totally wrong.
I think it's 5.
5 sounds pretty right.
That's what you got. You got me confused. Like 14, maybe. But that would I think that NATO wants to draw Russia into a war and then blame Russia for starting the war. I think that that's what he's thinking the goal is. So yeah, I think eventually. I think NATO's going to be the. I know I'm in NATO. I know this, but I think NATO is going to be the aggressor of the war if it happens. They're going to be the ones that they're pushing, they're poking, and when they poke, and the bear bites, they're going to say, "Oh, he bit me! Look." That's what's going to happen. That's what I think his thought process is, or Russia's leadership's process right now. That's what I think they're thinking.
I can see that because I haven't really put too much thought into like.
We
wonder
want war.
We definitely want more. War makes us so
they're
much money.
Pushing. But it would be nuclear war. It would eventually be nuclear war. We could say, no, we won't do it, we won't do it, we won't do it. Eventually, yes, we will. Somebody's going to set something off. And it's probably going to be Russia. Because they're not going to win. So it'll be Russia.
Well, big deal right now that I didn't really know about that a lot. I saw a lot of people talking about Pakistan and India. They hate each other.
Yeah, fuck. Get them off the face of the earth.
They're gearing up.
Fuck both.
They're gearing up.
Gearing up for what? You ever see fucking Indian people fighting in the streets? Indian gangs?
Have you seen the video of Chinese soldiers and Indian soldiers engaging in hand-to-hand combat on the border?
Yes.
They're fucking fist fighting each other. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Go at it.
I wish we would all fist fight instead of shoot each other, to be honest. But yeah, India, that's dangerous. India and Pakistan. I mean, India doesn't have nuclear weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so does Pakistan.
So that's not good. However, I don't think that China allows India to use nuclear weapons. I don't think that happens. I don't think they're going to be allowed to use them.
I hope it doesn't happen.
I think if they do, then the world is going to fucking shit on them. 'Cause
Yeah, India doesn't have a lot of friends already. They're kind of
in their own
they're with like the China and Russia group.
China, Brazil, Russia, India, BRICS, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that I want to say war's coming, but I'm like 50-50 on it now. Like maybe a few months ago I was probably 60-40 in favor of a war happening, like world war happening. But I feel like it's kind of chilling out in a way. I don't know how to explain that. I just feel like it.
Think it's chilling out?
I know that sounds weird. Like, okay, there's nothing saying it's chilling out, but I don't see people escalating to a point of war anytime soon. I don't think.
Israel and I think it's
Palestine.
Lebanon.
Oh, Lebanon.
Lebanon. Hezbollah is in Lebanon, and they're firing a ton of rockets into Israel. So that's a lot of people are speculating on that as well, thinking Israel's going to open another front in Lebanon.
Why don't we just ignore it? You know, just like go ahead, guys.
I
know we're not
if
going
they
to,
want to
but-
fuck around and do their own thing over there, go for it.
I don't want a nuclear war in my lifetime, please.
I don't either.
I don't want a war in my lifetime. But the draft is only to 26, so once we turn 27, we're good.
I'll just enlist, do my part, serve my country,
I won't.
my war crime free country.
Yeah, I have no desire to fight the. I know you're being sarcastic. Thank God. You scared me for a second there. But we're just fighting the bankers' wars. It's just the whole thing is fucked up, and I always feel like there's something that we're just not getting, something we're not seeing, with the way this world works. Like there's like a piece of the puzzle that's missing, that's like controlling it all, and I just don't know what it is. You know what I mean? There's like a gear that we're just not seeing that's turning the whole system. I don't know how to explain that, other than to just like I don't know if you want to use the word shadow government or something, but it feels like there's powerful people that have names that we just aren't realizing are who's in charge. You know what I mean? That's worldwide. Like there might be like a group of like 15 to 30 people that really, really run things, but who? I don't know. But it just feels that way. It feels like these are the people making decisions. I don't know why I think that.
I just kind of
Might be my
see it
tinfoil
as
hat.
like, I mean, I totally wouldn't put that out of the question. I just kind of see it as these people get into these positions of power, and this, as the saying goes, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and they just kind of get their dick swinging, and they already probably have a predisposition to dislike certain countries 'cause maybe they grew up that way via propaganda or whatnot. So they kind of have this enemy in their mind, and they just don't like them. And I think religion plays a huge part of it, especially we can see it in the Middle East. Like it's a very big deal. I think religion has fucked over a lot of people throughout the history of
Humanity.
yeah.
Every time it's happened, every time there's been opposing religions in the same country or even around each other, they go to war. Eventually, it seems like that happens. But I don't know. I just feel like your oil moguls, that are probably trillionaires, and we don't even know it because Forbes doesn't report it. Like you're telling me that these people don't have some sort of massive say in the geopolitical aspect. You know what I mean?
They're probably talking to the figureheads
Yes, that's
and
who's
saying,
controlling.
okay, you're
shit.
going to do these things because it will get us this much more money.
Right, and they have all the power because they have all the money they control. So that's what I'm saying when I mean, like when I say there's people that are in charge that we don't even know about, that keep their name purposely out of. They're not on Forbes. They're not going to be in the news because they own the news. They own Forbes. They own these things. Like, you know what I mean? That's just why would they expose themselves? But I don't know who. Like, I don't know. You hear about like the Rothschilds and all that shit, but I don't even think it's that. I think it's fucking. There has to be trillionaires. There's no way these oil mogul people are not trillionaires. They're taking in billions a day.
I think there's 100% trillionaires.
But who? I mean, that's what's frustrating me. That's the issue. If you name them, then you see who is calling the shots. In my opinion, money controls all. That's who's calling the shots. That's who's buying the politicians. That's who's. I got another. This is not really off topic, but it kind of is. But if I don't say it now, I'll lose it. Election meddling. Do you think the United States has meddled in its own elections at any point?
Probably, yeah.
So that to me, I think the same thing. That to me immediately discredits any election in history, in my opinion. I feel like, at least in the past, since Kennedy, like how do you know what you're really choosing these people at all? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We've admitted basically to meddling in other elections. Why wouldn't we do it on our own? You don't think that happened? I think it did.
Right, there's, like you were saying, there's probably some rich guy who thinks that this person would be a better fit, or they're
And they're the ones that are in charge of the CIA. They're the high up CIA, high up FBI, Mossad. Like those are the people that are high up there. I think that's another big controller of things. And those are the really rich people. Like they might work for, how do I explain that? The CIA might work for these people, and they call the shots. And they say, hey, I don't like this guy. I don't like his beliefs. I don't like this. I want this guy here. I want him to preach this. And we'll pay him X amount of dollars. Because this system is so corrupt. Why would we put that past them? I mean, it's horrible. We're talking about child predators. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are,
it's
why would we put
extremely
this
corrupt.
past these people? These people are sick. They're fucking disgusting. This is another step in the ladder.
I think because a lot of Americans are brainwashed.
And you like to feel you have the choice, illusion of choice.
Right, they were told that this is like the only free country, and you can do and say whatever you want, and your vote goes towards the next president or the next governor or mayor, and you have a say in how things are done in this country, but
Yeah.
you fucking don't.
No, it's like, I feel like America is like, you remember when you were a kid? Like, I don't know, like if you had two steering wheels in a car and one of them did nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're fucking, yeah, look at what I'm doing. And then the government's over here like, yeah, good job.
Look
They're
at
the
you
ones
go, buddy.
That's what I feel like. It just feels like we're not doing shit. Like we don't have a say over anything. Why would they hate us? They fucking despise the citizens. Why would they give us a say in who's in charge of this country? They're not giving you a say. It's not happening. It's when they say, well, like when Trump claimed like rigged election. I totally believe that. Whether it was in his favor or Biden's favor, one way or another, I feel like they rig it somehow. Something is going on. Fucking Putin said that too. He said that we do that.
Something probably is going on. It probably has been going on
Yeah.
for a very long time.
I don't like that Trump made it about himself, but I think that what he said could totally be true. They killed Kennedy. Can't convince me they didn't. So, you know.
I think they did.
So that's
They
just
killed
fascinating.
Martin Luther King too.
Yeah. You want to get into really conspiracy theory territory?
Yeah, I like putting on my tinfoil hat.
I got a real tinfoil hat theory here that is not a popular thing to talk about, but I'm gonna talk about it because fuck it. The Las Vegas shooting,
Oh, I think we already talked about this.
but I don't think I really said what I felt about it. But we're on the same schedule here. I do not believe the Las Vegas shooting happened how they said it happened. It didn't happen that way. I I don't know what happened, but the narrative is not correct. That's just like what I mean by that is just one example of how far I think that our government is willing to go to push their agenda. Las Vegas shooting was not bump stocks. First of all, they used that. I know I'm biased against all this stuff because I like guns and all that, but putting my bias to the side, that was not a bump stock. First of all, that was an agenda to get rid of these things. So why would you politicize something that was supposedly so tragic and kill all these people, which it did? I'm not saying it didn't happen. It did happen. But you're worried about the political aspect of it and the banning an agenda. There were 2 shooters because there's video of 2 shooters clearly firing shots from different windows, clear as day. It was an M240, matched round for round per minute.
So, was this guy ex-military?
No.
How the fuck did he get his hands on an M240?
No, they're saying it was AR-15s, but it was an M240
Oh,
that was
okay,
being
okay.
used. What I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. But this dude had no criminal background, no anything. Nobody knew anything about him. He carries 400 pounds of equipment, more than 400 pounds of equipment, way more. Up 40 stories. Supposedly, he didn't take an elevator. Supposedly, they say. And he removes a 400-pound pane glass window by himself. He kills himself when they breach the door. His brother says, why would he do this? This doesn't make any fucking sense. This is ridiculous. And they find child porn on his computer the next day, and he goes to prison. That happened.
That's such...
The house burned down. They burned the house down with all the evidence and the manifesto of Stephen, whatever his name was, the shooter. His house burned down really quickly after that. The FBI refused to do it. It's just so interesting. The lawyer, one of the prosecutors or lawyers died mysteriously.
If this played out how they say it did, and it was just some crazy guy who just wanted to cause some ruckus, then the post circumstances seems straight out of a fiction book.
It makes
Just
no
the
sense.
way things play out so perfectly, where a proper investigation can't be done, and we just have to accept it as this was just a lunatic, a gun crazy lunatic.
And now let's discredit his brother and randomly find child porn on his computer the day after he says that none of this happened. That's not
Right?
true.
So you find child porn on his brother's computer, who says, basically defending his brother.
Very much so. Like, this is not true.
The house burns down, which has the manifesto, which would be the reason why he did what he did.
So there's no reason ever given. They didn't have to explain it because of that. Well,
It
we
just
don't know.
feels so perfect.
I know that when you bring up mass shootings specifically, it's not popular to talk about, but I don't believe that they don't happen. I'm just saying some of them are interesting, and we know that the government is willing to kill its own citizens. Do we not know this? Why do we discredit, like we say, oh yeah, they'll kill their own citizens, but they definitely won't do this. That's killing their own citizens. Why do we completely discredit this? And it's a massive agenda they have to push. Disarming the citizens or taking away certain things from the citizens is a massive goal of our government. I'm not saying they're going to ban guns completely, but they want certain things out of the civilians' hands, and they're going to get it by any means necessary.
You just kind of take baby steps with it. Like
Baby steps.
Maybe you start with the bump stock, and then You go next to
They've been pushing.
5.56 ammunition and
Yeah, they
223.
They tried to ban shoulder bracing, AR-15 pistol. It got overturned, thankfully. So they were going to make it illegal to brace your AR-15 pistol on your shoulder. You had to shoot it like this. Just stupid shit. Just random stupid shit they want to come out with. 10-round magazines. They want you to have 10-round magazines. In California, you can only have 10 rounds. In California, you can only have a single action AR-15. So you have to manually
You have to
pull
the
back
bolt.
every single round. So they're pushing their boundaries more and more. But all I'm saying is that when suspicious things happen and okay, let me reiterate. If it smells like shit, it looks like shit, it tastes like shit. Couldn't it be shit?
It's probably shit.
You know what I mean? Like, I know it's not popular to say, and I'm not saying it's not tragic and horrible, and it's not possible that it happened how they say it happened. All I'm doing is bringing attention to it as like, that's interesting. There's an agenda. There's a reason to do it. It's our government. There's suspicious scenarios. Like, it's bizarre. Okay, the statistical graph for the mass shootings with other countries who have lax gun laws. Why are we so much higher than all these other countries who have the same laws, if not more relaxed? And they have the same mental illnesses. They have the same everything. Why are they here and why are we up here? Where's that happening at? You can say, oh, it's just our whatever, blah, blah, blah. There's something interesting happening.
Yeah, I'd say everyone usually does chalk something like that up to
It's deeper than that.
mental health.
No chance. You don't think that those fucking mental health issues happen in other
Right,
countries?
like that. Everyone in the world has mental health problems.
Every single person. So why are we so much higher up on mass shootings per whatever capita? I mean, I'm talking like fucking God. I'm gonna find that. It's nuts.
What classifies as a mass shooting? Is it like a certain amount
I
of
think
people?
it's like 3 or more or something. Let me look it up. But I'm talking about like this graph was talking more about like I don't know, not like your typical like 3-person mass shooting. It was like
Like
a major,
very large.
yeah, a major scale shooting. See if I can find it. Look, this is just that graph.
Was that Scientific American 30 years of mass shootings by country?
Let me click on it.
It was 78 for America. Next was Germany.
Mm-hmm. Which was 7. So 66% of mass shootings in the world are in the United States.
I am curious to know gun laws and restrictions in other countries because I really don't know a lot about it.
Summer.
One thing I did read was like I can't remember what country in Europe exactly. It says they have like pretty much every home has a gun. I cannot fucking remember what country it was. It was a small European country.
I don't know. But I know you can have fucking grenades in Russia. Why don't they have mass shootings like this? Russia is a country similar, I wouldn't say similar to ours, but like the people aren't so much different than us. It's crazy. Like there's similarities. They have the same mental health issues. They have the same laws. Basically, they have more relaxed laws with their firearms. They have a lot of people. They have schools. They have all these things. Why are they so much less likely to have a mass shooting? I don't understand. Where is the disconnect? What's happening? Is it mental health related? If so, why the fuck are we so fucked up mentally as a country?
You're asking a lot of good questions that I haven't really thought about.
I don't expect you to answer. It's just me like
No,
expressing
it's
like,
just
you know what I
like
mean?
it's food for thought. I haven't pondered the idea of comparing kind of our gun laws and mass shooting rates to other countries. Because if you get on Reddit or anything and a mass shooting comes up, typically what you'll see in the comments is something like ban guns, or there's no need for AR-15s, or well, Australia banned guns after mass shooting and look how many they have. But you don't really compare it to countries that have similar gun laws. They always compare it to a country that has extremely strict gun laws.
Yeah, the other side of it's never brought up. So the real question would not be to ban guns. It would be, why is it happening? There's no answer. other than our government.
Unless there's some people
There's some
meddling behind the
suspicious things.
scenes trying to.
Why is that not possible? Why do people get shit on for saying that? We know our country's done horrible things. We know about Operation Northwoods. We were going to fly fucking planes into buildings and blame Cuba for it and kill our own citizens to go to war with them. Excuse me. That was a government document that John F. Kennedy signed down and said, fuck you, we're not doing this. That really happened. That's not a conspiracy. So why are we not capable of something like this? You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not saying that it does happen. I'm just trying to put food for thought out there. Like, come on, guys. Like, something's going on here. And we don't want to talk about it because it's one of those topics you
requires
avoid.
people to do a little more digging than just surface level.
Yeah, and
'Cause if you just take what the news and the media say, like, hey, this crazy guy got his hands on a gun and killed a lot of people, then you just go, oh, that's horrible. You get on with your day. And
you can virtue signal on Facebook about it and
yeah,
say,
you can.
rest in peace to those beautiful souls. Oh, this world's so horrible. I'm so great. Look at me. Blah, blah, blah. Look at me. Have empathy.
But
That's all they care about.
probably don't expect you to do any further digging.
No. But then that'll happen. Okay, so this is another tinfoil hat. But it's not, because it does happen. When mass shootings happen, no conspiracy, our government will pass things that are kind of, how do I word that? They'll pass laws and write laws and try to enact laws that are something that we would say, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing that for? Like whether it's encroaching on our privacy or just something stupid. They like to do it during times of, like, 9/11 happened, they were passing shit that they shouldn't have been. Mass shootings happen, Sandy Hook happens. They start passing laws that they shouldn't be under our radar. That's another reason that this happens. That's an agenda. Or it's another reason this could be happening, so they can get away with things. They use this to their advantage.
Yeah, they can
This is an advantage to the
pass
government.
some sneaky stuff.
While you're distracted by the horrible killing of 20 children, like you should be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you should be worried about that, but that's when they use it to their advantage, which is sick, first of all, on their end. They're taking that and saying, oh, okay, well, we're going to ban this, and then we're going to pass this law while you're distracted by the death of children. That's disgusting. And they totally do that.
I wonder what kind of stuff they're going to be doing like later this year when the election really heats up. People are getting pretty cutthroat about Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
This is great for them.
This is fantastic. They probably
They're-
love election years.
They're licking their lips, man. Licking their lips. I don't know. I guess
Something to keep an eye out for.
I guess we'll find out, but we'll be too distracted to pay attention.
Yeah,
to
I
it,
know.
like the
Actually,
rest
it
of the
won't even
country.
get any coverage. Like,
Nope.
It won't get coverage. You'll have to dig pretty deep for it.
Yeah, this country is fucked. Hope it's not.
It seems like, it kind of is.
I feel like the whole world is going downhill, though. It's not just this country. This whole world is becoming nuts. Since COVID, man, post-COVID, the world's lost its mind for real. I'm not just saying
it
that.
feels like it. It feels like
I know,
it.
I know it, but it doesn't just feel like it. Like it has in my head. Like I feel like it really has. People just, you've seen more disconnect. You've seen more hate. You've seen more wars. Not more wars overall since history, but I mean, like in the last few decades, you've seen an uptick in that. I don't know. It just feels like people are off the wagon here. They're just going off the rails.
I wonder what about COVID kind of made things tick.
I think the isolation and the realization of the fragility of life, maybe. And they kind of, I don't know, they got anxiety about it. They got paranoid about it. They sat at home and did nothing about it. So that just amped them up. I don't know. That's a good question. But that'd be my quick thought was just, I don't know. Maybe they realized how I think the realizing that nobody's in control scared people. Because like when that happened, nobody could stop it.
Right, like it's just this virus that can get to you kind of no matter what you do.
And I think that caused a lot of mental illness in people, whether it was anxiety-based or depression-based or, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that really amplified that aspect of people quickly. And, I don't know, the people didn't go to school. Like we're going to have people that were out of school for 2 or 3 years.
But my sister's a teacher and she said some kids are like pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
They can't focus or pay attention to a goddamn thing. And they act differently towards each other because didn't really grow up. Well, they did, but for 2.5 years, they weren't interacting with classmates like face to face. So, and that's prime years of development. That fucks with you pretty hard.
Yep. Mitchell didn't go to school for senior year. Isn't that crazy? Like, we know somebody
That is weird. That's
always
weird as fuck.
trips me out. He was online for 95% of it, and that's interesting. And I'm not trying to call anybody.
I want to pick his brain.
Yeah, you
Hey,
can tell
let's
he's
get
a little.
Mitch on the podcast. We're gonna pick your brain.
Yeah, we're gonna pick his brain about it. But like, I would say that he's a little. He can be socially withdrawn from like strangers too. Like you
I can
notice,
see how that would totally
you know what I mean?
withdraw people. Like, you spend. I mean, most people really look forward to senior year.
It's
I
a
would say.
crucial,
That's like
crucial time.
it's like the
High
best
school,
year of high school before you
general.
go off into college. It's kind of like your last free year that you get, and then that gets taken away, and you have to spend it pretty much by yourself.
Mhm. And everybody thinks life gets better after senior year.
And it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It does not.
It gets worse. Exponentially worse.
Don't go any further.
Just die, kill yourself after 18.
It's never. I think I can fuck with people pretty bad.
Yeah, I think it does. This thing is going limp on me. There we go.
If it's like loose, I got the key to tighten it.
Big Gucci. Fucking bullshit. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like people lost their shit, and they never got it back. And at the same time, Trump and Biden were happening.
Yeah,
what I mean?
they were.
So I think that's another reason that people lost their mind. I mean, when you see in the videos like the women, the liberal women, like screaming and crying in the street. No, like that's
It
insane.
reminds me of the South Park episode.
That's
man.
insane, man. That's not normal. And then you have like a cult behind Donald Trump, and it's just bizarre.
That's the weirdest. That's weird to me.
It's a cult.
It is a cult. It's
It's like Hitler-esque, but without the genocide.
yeah.
I know that sounds, but it is. Like people follow him like that.
I wonder. Like I want to be a fly on the wall in Nazi Germany and see if people acted kind of this way about Hitler.
bet.
I'm sure they did.
The rallies that he would have, and then you look at the rallies that Trump has. Obviously, they're not as big, but they're still extremely large for a political rally. I mean, gigantic.
I just like a lot of people I follow on any social media. They're super into Trump. Someone made a comment that I saw regarding the debate. Is that if this dude ate a fucking baby on stage,
People,
he would get the pass.
Yeah.
And people would be like, look at him. He's
Yeah.
got the balls to eat a baby on stage.
yeah. Woo.
And that is just so absolutely crazy to me that you can idolize and worship a TV personality politician
Mhm.
or just a politician in general.
I feel like people recognize him as like a savior figure. To them, that would be like a savior. That's how they see him, as like a hero, a savior, which he's just a fucking dude, man. You know what I
Right.
mean?
He's just a fucking dude.
He really can't save you from shit. I'm sorry.
And everyone thinks that he's going to pull this country up by its bootstraps and get us on the right path where we used to be.
What do people like? What do people think he's gonna accomplish in 4 years?
I don't know. I was going to ask
Realistically.
that because last night in the debate, Ukraine came up and Trump said, like, if I get into office, I'm going to settle this. I'm going to put it to an end. And my thought was, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to settle this?
Yeah, what would you do? Would you give? Putin's not gonna just say, "No, I don't want it." You give him Ukraine. Like, how does that work?
All right. I don't think Trump has the charisma to walk over there and go, listen, fellas, let's put this behind us. Shake hands, and
No.
why don't we just let Russia keep what they have, and we can all call this a deal. Ukraine's going to say, nah, fuck you. This is our country.
100%.
And Russia's going to say, well, we took that. That's fucking ours.
I think one of two things happens. Trump says, Russia, if you don't stop, we're going to fuck you up. And Russia's going to say, oh, no, please don't fuck us up. We'll stop. Or they're going to say, fuck you. We're not doing anything. We're going to bomb your ass now if you're going to do that to us. So that's going to cause a war. They're not going to back down. But I think Trump threatens, that would be his plan if I had to guess, threaten Russia with severe consequences.
I'm I'm curious about that as well because
That doesn't end well, though.
I think what it seems to me, at least, the stance of Republicans for the most part is fuck Ukraine. We don't want anything to do with that place. So I'm curious to see how they would react if Trump came out and said, all right, ship out to Ukraine. We're going to go fight over there.
Yeah.
From what I see now, if Biden said that, he'd probably get a fuck ton of pushback. People would say, we're not going over there to fight that. But a part of me thinks if Trump said it, Republicans would hop right on board and say, fuck yeah, we need to put Russia in their place.
I just don't see Trump as the figure that he is saying, let's give Russia Ukraine. That would be a horrible idea on his part as like a president. Like, you know what he stands for? Like that type of thing. He stands for everything but that. So he would be the one that says, hey, we're going to go to war with Russia. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to send people over there and fight. But you can't win that. I don't know what his plan is. There is no winning. All I know is leave me the fuck out of it. I don't want to die for some stupid fuck.
All right, guys, the draft is now
I'm not going.
18
fuck
to
you.
30,
No.
and then your
Fuck you.
birthday gets pulled.
Fuck you. Fucking Muhammad Ali your ass.
You're
Stay
gonna go.
here.
You're gonna go be cannon fodder in the front lines.
Yeah,
Get a
yeah,
drone
yeah.
drop grenade on you.
And then I'm dead. Rest in peace. It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. When I watch like the drone videos of Ukraine and Russia, I just think to myself, like, those are human beings with lives, and you just got drone dropped like a $30 fucking drone with a grenade, and that's your life. You died
Right.
that way. Like, that's what you stood for. That's disgusting. That's sad. Not disgusting. It's sad.
There were some really, really graphic ones I saw the other day. I'm not gonna go into too much detail on them, but they were in like 4K, 60 FPS. This was the 47th, I think, like mechanized air brigade or something. I just know it was 47th. This was the Ukraine. And just these two dudes in particular got... so there was one drone filming, and another drone flew in and blew up on him.
Was it a Ukrainian drone or a Russian?
Both Ukrainian drones. So there's just one camera drone filming, and another drone comes in and fucks them up. And I'm just watching that, kind of thinking to myself, man, these guys are just out in this field fighting for...
Dudes being dudes.
Like, they might not even give a fuck at all. They're just there because it was either, okay, you can get out of prison and go fight in this war, or you can stay in prison. And you're probably going to pick the fucking better option where you don't have to sit in a prison. And then they just blow up due to drone that they didn't really give a fuck about in the first place.
What do you think's running through their minds?
Why the fuck am I here?
100%. I think the same thing. I think all of them are thinking that. 99% of them.
I think the Ukrainians are not. I think they have a valid reason to fight. But I feel like most people on the Russian side are probably thinking, man, what the fuck are we doing?
I've yet to see Russian footage, by the way.
You have yet to see it?
Like Russian drone footage on Ukraine's.
I haven't seen a lot either. What a lot of people say is that gets downvoted on that subreddit. So I
you don't
subscribe to another subreddit called Ukrainian War Footage. So I got combat footage, Ukrainian war footage. That's probably horrid for my mental health because I'm desensitizing myself to this
100%.
stuff.
That's
but
why I stopped watching that stuff for the most part. Like, I still can't avoid it sometimes, but oh yeah, it's just not good.
But yeah, both sides
It
are
numbs you out.
fucking each other up real bad.
How many people have died, you said? You gave a number on the last podcast. It was like hundreds of thousands.
I think it's over 1 million total.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Like over 540,000 on the Russian side, slightly less on the Ukraine side. I mean, these numbers are probably fairly inaccurate, but the numbers I just saw today were Russia's losing 1,000 men a day, and you know, you put that into a month, 31 days, you got 31,000 people who just died.
That's nuts. I don't recognize it like that at all until you say it.
I know.
It's like probably like a few hundred people are dying.
That's exactly how I thought about it, and then I saw those numbers and the amount of like tanks and ordnance that gets blown up and destroyed. I'm like, that's a lot of people.
Do you
That
think
is...
we're so fascinated with the Russia-Ukraine war because they're white people? Kinda, you know what I mean?
I think because it's...
We don't really care when Middle Eastern countries are at war, do they? Like,
I think it's because the first like modern armies have fought in such a long time.
and
Like,
especially being a powerhouse.
right.
nation.
When's the last time a superpower went to a legit war with another full-fledged, like, modernized military.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
This
Because
is-
most of the wars that have gone on have been,
The first post-internet war like this.
right, most countries like Russia and the U.S. have gone into the Middle East and just fought. I mean, I'd say maybe Iraq. They were a very, very large army when we went in there. So that
Kinda
might have been the
fucked us up,
last.
too.
Iraq?
Yeah.
We fucking stomped them. We took Iraq.
Which one was the one that fucked us up? Was it Iran?
I don't think we've been to war with Iran.
Who did we go to war with for? It was Iraq. We went there for-
Afghanistan. We were in the-
Afghanistan. That's what I couldn't fucking think.
We weren't at really war with Afghanistan.
We didn't really do anything there that
We were just there
we should.
fucking around for
Yeah.
20 years.
With people dying.
Yes.
Yeah. I always get confused by all of them.
But with Iraq, that's probably the last, like, modernish military combats with a superpower that was in.
That was just, I don't know. I've seen footage from Iraq from like the 60s, and it's just like, damn, it is beautiful.
Yeah, the Middle East looked like a fucking awesome place. I would have loved to visit.
What happened, you know? Like, oil happened, but I mean,
I saw a video the other day of Iran in the 70s before, like, Islam really took a crazy extremist foothold. It looked nice.
that puts it in perspective. It's like that can happen anywhere, though,
Yeah, it does.
which is scary.
Project 2025.
Yeah, that. But like, you're also letting over Islamic terrorists on the border by the hundreds every day. That's not good either.
I don't think Islam would ever take a crazy hold that Christianity has here.
No, but I just feel like I don't know, you're setting up for terror cells and shit to roll downhill here. That's also keeping wages lower. Having all these illegals come in our country is keeping wages lower.
You know what else is keeping wages lower?
Our government.
Fucking greed.
Greed.
I saw this video
And
the
the
other
printing
day.
of U.S. dollars. Fucking everything.
There was this guy. He had his like Walmart cart from I think 4 years ago. And there's a button on the app where you can reorder everything. His original price for all that stuff was like $180. He did it just recently. I guess how much it came out to?
$305.
Over $400 for the exact same items.
That is robbery.
That is a
That's corporate greed.
corporation saying people are willing to pay more, so they are going to pay more.
But it's also the printing of dollars that it's a mix of both, in my opinion. We've printed the U.S. dollar out the fucking ass and
I think-
devalued it.
I think greed has
Greed is definitely the
way. I think
biggest
it's like
issue.
probably a 70-30 split.
And there's nothing the government can do. Just
It's a capitalist society.
I know,
What are you
but
gonna
fucking
do?
Cap man. Okay, opinion on capitalism.
It fucking sucks.
Thank you for saying it. 'Cause I feel the same
It
way.
fucks over anyone who is not a corporation.
Yep.
Even small businesses get fucked.
So how do we fix it?
That's
you
a
think? question
question that I do not have the answer to. I have thought about it, and
It's too
people
late.
are like, what other form of government would you like? I'm like, I don't fucking know, because part of me likes capitalism, but I don't like the capitalism where everyone gets fucked over.
What about like a modified communism? I know communism is not
It's a
popular-
scary word for Americans.
I know it is.
Scary,
I
scary
know it
word.
is. But like, take communism and modify it to modern standards. I don't know how to explain that, but I feel like communism has potential, and I shouldn't say that.
You're
But I'm gonna
get
say
put
it.
on the
I know I
fucking
don't give a
stake.
fuck. I don't care.
I think I saw this interview. It was just a quick little clip, so maybe it was taken out of context. It was I think the CEO of Arizona Iced Tea, a very large drink
They
brand.
keep it 99 cents forever.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
and it was an interview with him, and the lady was like, "Why don't you raise the prices?" He's like, "Why would I raise the prices?" He's like, pretty much saying, "I'm not trying to fuck people over. We make enough to cover our costs, pay our employees, and the price can stay the same where it's at." And I just think, man, why do people have to be so goddamn greedy?
Because I don't really have an answer, but you and I would be the same way.
I guarantee we
That's
would.
the issue.
I guarantee we
It's
would.
just the human mentality.
It just sucks.
I know, it
because
sucks.
if say Walmart in that example I gave earlier just kind of kept their prices where they were at, things
Mark,
would be fairly fine.
Mark Cuban has a pharmacy called Cost Plus Drugs that operates at a 15% margin. And everybody, any drug on there is like significantly cheaper than any other pharmacy. So like if you go to like I don't know, like a local pharmacy and you get fucking, I don't know, Ativan or some random prescription, you might pay $40-$50 for a few months supply. On that website you might pay well, it's not a website, it is, but you pick it up at a pharmacy, but you have through the website, it might be like $5 or $6. It's so much cheaper. So that's another example of corporate greed. It's just operating at a margin that's unfair to the people and only benefits you.
Right. So why can't there be a profit margin cap?
I don't know.
Like why?
Because we can't meddle in fucking, because the capitalists.
I hate seeing if I'm on like the stair stepper one day at the gym and they have it looks usually Fox News and they're talking about stocks frequently. They're like, yeah, Apple had a 300% profit increase from this year to last year. I'm like, why do they need to get? Why
Amazon,
are
Apple,
people cool
Tesla?
with lining their pockets so heavily?
I don't know.
Like,
greed.
we know it doesn't cost. What's the new iPhone cost? Like $1,300. It does not fucking cost $1,300 to make that goddamn phone because they're doing it overseas anyway.
Yeah. With their overhead, it probably is less than $100 a phone.
And I get a lot goes into making these fucking phones. You got to pay a lot of people.
But even with all that included, you're telling me that thing costs $1,200 or even close to it? No. Let's look up how much the average iPhone costs.
What if it's really high, like $900?
I'd be like, oh,
I
okay.
look like a fucking fool.
Because I remember seeing it and it was like, wow. It costs $364 to produce. So that's actually pretty expensive. However, that's with everything included. Like that, you're talking about like your overhead, your employee pay, like everything.
Okay, so it's not that fucking expensive.
No.
So they are making a huge profit margin
It's nuts.
on each and every one of these
$800
phones.
a phone.
And they have a monopoly pretty much on the cell phones.
That's the other issue, is that we have monopolies in our country and we don't even realize it. Insurance companies, phone companies, cable companies. That's a monopoly. When two companies control the market and they're in cahoots together.
You know what else is really fucking annoying? I've heard Joe Rogan say this before, but the constant need for more profit. Like if a company does record profits one year, like I just mentioned Apple, it's like we're up 300% from last year. The next year, shareholders and investors expect more. 300% is not enough for them. It's like, well, we did 300, let's do 320. Then the year after that, let's do 400. It's like, why can't you keep it a consistent
Well,
number?
if you cap the profits, that destroys the stock markets. That might be part of the reason. Because people would not be making as much. You know what I mean?
Well, fuck those people.
I know, fuck those people. But like that's the reason that'll never happen. Is because nobody that is, so many people buy into the stock market. That's just never gonna happen. I wish it would.
The stock market's a fucking sham too.
Yeah, I know. I hate the stock market. Because I suck at it.
It robbed me blind.
Yeah, I got better at it though by learning my lesson of don't buy into stupid companies. I gotta piss. I gotta take my mid pee. Man, where was we?
I don't know. Probably talking about some
Some random shit.
horrendous, horrible
Yeah.
things.
You got anything you want to bring up, talk about, on your mind there? Conspiracies, aliens.
Oh, I told Mitch this because we went riding the other day.
Mm.
It was when you texted like, "You guys alive?"
Yeah, because I thought you died.
Yeah, Mitch pulled that up. I didn't hear anything about that person, but
They said he was alright, but the bike was fucked up. It was a CBR 1000.
I heard it was a CBR. I'm glad he's all right.
Yeah.
I just thought he was on 77. He was probably going fairly fast. So glad he's okay.
I rode my bike yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah,
Where'd you go? Just around?
just around my town, and I went on the highway for like a minute. I hit 130.
That bike can get up to 130?
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
I do it regularly. Well, I used to do it regularly. That's the first time I did it in a while.
You said when you switched from the 650 over to your Gixxer, like right away you noticed how more stable the Gixxer was. Does
100%.
that still hold 100% true?
100%.
You feel like way safer on the Gixxer?
1,100%. I can't even quantify how much. Yes, it's so much more stable. I do not like going that fast on that bike, to be honest. I just did it just to see how fast it could go because I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, don't like it. I hit even when doing that, I was hitting bumps here and there, and it was the death wobble was the only thing in my mind. So I was like, let's back out of this.
Anytime I see a video with Death Wobble, I'm like, dude, man, if I got that, I know protocol is to kind of like let go and just let the bike
Still
even
doesn't
itself
matter,
out.
though.
But my first instinct would be to try and fix it myself.
Because like, what if you're in a turn? What if there's a car there? What if
Right.
you can't avoid something? Like, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna wreck. You just have to hope you're lucky on a straight highway.
Yeah,
With
it
no
really is
traffic.
just luck.
I don't know. But you have a stabilizer on your bike?
No, I want to get one.
I would really recommend getting one.
Next year's when I'll do all the things I want to do to it. Like, I want to rip those baffles out. I want to make it louder.
They come out just with those two.
They're fucking rivets.
Yep.
That's annoying.
But if you're never gonna put them back in,
Oh, I don't care. Yeah, they won't
you
go
can
back
just
in.
fucking destroy them. Take them right
I
out.
want to take those out. I'm going to replace the headlights and the accent light. What else do I want to do? I want to get a stabilizer.
You should get black screws.
I would.
That
I
looks so
want to
good.
wrap it really bad.
Wrap it what?
My bike. I want to wrap it.
Like wrap it with what though? What do you want?
Fucking anime bullshit. And just make it stick out like a sore thumb.
That'd be expensive.
I know. I've seen a lot of people say they do it
It's
themselves.
hard. It's got to be hard.
I know it's got to be like
Worse
really,
than a car.
really hard. But
Yeah,
luckily
yeah.
on that bike, I think super sports in general, the fairing, because compare those fairings to the 650s. 650 has like so many curves, edges, and like mild open spots. It would have been a nightmare to wrap that bike.
You're a fairing god, by the way.
I wouldn't say I'm a god. I'm a force the shit in and make
worked.
it work.
We
Is
were
it still
trying
holding
so hard.
fine?
Just fine. 130 on the highway, no problem. I checked it.
That's
I gotta
good.
get my attempts again. I've been studying just to retake the test. I'll take it next week.
It doesn't even like pertain to motorcycles.
I know,
It's
I
fucking dumb.
All the questions on there are pointless. What were you gonna bring up? I don't want to get too far off. Yeah, you were talking to Mitch about something.
Oh, yeah. You said aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been seeing these clips on Reddit recently. This one guy has been posting, and he has this like FLIR camera and it can toggle between like FLIR, night vision. You know how the night vision can go like from black to white. He has those two different ones on there, and I really want to buy. I thought it was a camera, so I was looking up cameras to see what had FLIR and night vision, and he mentioned it in the comments.
It's a rangefinder.
It's a scope,
Oh, that's
and then I saw the
expensive.
price tag.
Yeah,
It was $8,000 for that one that he had.
night vision scopes are so expensive.
The most expensive one on their website was $27,000.
Yep, that's pretty bad.
So, what I really wanted to do was just get one and skywatch with it.
You can get a rangefinder, get a scope, a regular scope, and a rangefinder, and it's
A rangefinder's night vision,
I'll show you.
because I really want a night watch, and they said around 3 o'clock to 3:45 seems to be peak hours for UFO activity. So I want to go out middle of the night with my IR scope and night watch or sky watch.
Yeah, this is way cheaper than getting a scope. It's like $200 to $300.
Hey, what is what I got?
What?
It's fucking intro.
Let's see if I can get a picture from it. There it is.
Is it an ad?
Yeah. YouTube's been pissing me off with their ads. I'm never buying premium.
I'm not either. I finally got an ad block on my computer after years of holding out. It doesn't look exactly the same.
It's not good. It's not $8,000, but it works really well for what it is.
Like,
Not bad.
I'd like to see this compared, or just looking at the
You're
sky at night and seeing kind of what you could see. Like
The other
maybe
one's gonna be better.
look at an aircraft going by,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could see to an extent, but
because his worked very similar to the gimbal video, where it was gray and then the object was black, and then you could switch it from black backgroundish to the object was white.
that's cool.
Then you could turn on like FLIR and tell what kind of heat signatures it was giving off.
What about like a telescope?
Yeah, you probably could do it with a telescope.
Be cheap.
I feel like that would be harder though, because I feel like I want to move around quick and crazy. Telescope would be a little hard.
Yeah. But that would be cool to night watch for UFOs.
Said 3 a.m. to 3:45 seems to be peak hours, and that is what a lot of abductees say, the time frame where they have their experiences.
You believe anybody's ever been abducted?
Maybe.
Wonder what they do if they're like abducted. Like, what's the point?
I'm subscribed to there's a subreddit for abductees or people who claim to be abducted.
I think those people are either schizophrenic or attention whores.
Based on those posts, yeah, I would definitely agree with you. They'll have like 2 pricks or a triangle kind of mark on them. They'll be like, "I think I was abducted last night," and I'm like, "No, I don't think you were."
That's like the same car being parked outside your house for 10 years, and then one day you say, "The FBI's out there."
No, it's just your neighbor, Nick.
Yeah, I'm sure that some people are credible, but like even if 1 out of 100,000 is credible, like that's still something.
Yeah, if one person has ever been abducted, that's enough.
That's something. That's plenty. Yeah, that's all you need. So it makes you wonder. But like, the point would be to study them, but then why would they give you back?
I mean, I guess it's kind of like an animal. You know,
Yeah.
You will just chalk it up to like a kid's curiosity. He goes, "Oh, there's a insect over there." You grab it in the net, look at it a little bit, and then send it home.
I think aliens smell bad.
I am
That's an
curious.
intrusive
What
thought I
does
just
alien
had.
BO smell like?
Like imagine like,
Damn, dude, it's fucking Old Spice. Put this on.
dude,
Melts his skin
don't use
because
antiperspirant.
it's got aluminum in it.
I wonder what their body. Man, I'm so fascinated if they exist.
They
I
do.
just-
They 100% do. There's no way they don't.
I know they have to. Like, but is it intelligent or is it? You know what I mean? That's my only question. I know that alien life exists, in my opinion, but like, what is it? Is it just cellular organisms or intelligent species? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
I'm so curious. It eats away at me like almost every day.
I think okay. So I'm curious then. Why people are fascinated by what they're fascinated by? Like for you, why does it fascinate you so much? Like what does it mean to you if they're real? If
It wouldn't
anything.
even like change anything because my perspective already is I believe these things exist. I think there's other life out there, and I think there are things that are probably more intelligent than us. For me, it is probably just knowing that I'm right. I want that confirmation and just curiosity.
Does that does that make you feel better about, I don't know, life itself, that these things exist, that
No.
like it's just like a curiosity thing solely?
Yeah, just curious. I just want to know. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with like cryptids.
Yeah, I think for me, if it exists, I think it gives me a bit of solace in like this massive, like we're not lonely, like this massive universe is not void of anything but just planets and stars and stuff like that. Like there's something there. There's other things out there. Because it makes no sense to be so void of life. You know what I mean? It's like going to a party with nobody there.
Yeah, that would suck.
It's like, this is awkward. Like, okay.
I saw this video the other day. It was this guy pranked his mom. He had this video that he made of a newscast, like a breaking newscast, and you know those emergency broadcast messages.
I love these videos, dude. I love these.
He had something like that up on the TV, and it was like mildly cryptic, and it basically just said like, everyone in these states, there have been multiple objects sighted in the skies, and like physical beings, and he pranked his mom by having it on the TV, and she was freaking the fuck out, just going bananas.
You ever seen the nuclear ones?
I haven't seen the nuclear
You gotta
ones.
watch
Same
those.
kind of same thing.
Same
People
exact
just
thing, but
flip the fuck out.
They do nuclear bombs that are coming to their state. And the guy's like, we got to take cover now. They're like, hide under the bed. And he's like, why the fuck are we going to hide under the bed? They're so funny, dude. But yeah, people.
It kind of gives you an idea of maybe a reaction. Well, okay. I think there's a difference between that and disclosure. That is more of, because that emergency sound in a lot of people that triggers
Fight or
an
flight.
innate fear in them.
Yep.
But if you do it at like a State of the Union address and say, okay, these things, they're here. We don't know what they are. We have craft. We have physical beings.
But you're not
but
in any
we
imminent
really
danger.
don't know. Yeah, like as far as we know, you're not in danger. We just are unsure of what these things are.
Nobody would give a shit. They'd be like, that's cool. We would care, but most people are like,
yeah, you're right. And then they'd go to the next topic like, well, Trump solved Ukraine and Russia. That's cool.
Right. Anyways, there's aliens. Who's honking out there?
I don't know. I heard it. Someone locked their car.
They're breaking into
Maybe
our
someone went
vehicles.
up to Castle.
Did you ride your bike up here? Why? I didn't even pay attention.
My belly was full. I ate after the gym. I just kept eating. I was so hungry. And then my dad was like, you want anything from Subway? And I was like, yeah, I want something from Subway. So I ate something from Subway too, and I was just full. I didn't want to get on the bike.
What'd you get from Subway?
Basically what I did was I built a chicken sandwich just on a sub. I just added onions, like mayo, honey mustard, oven roasted chicken, onions, lettuce.
I love food.
It's so good.
You're making
It's
me
so
hungry.
good.
I had
I have half of it at home too.
Man, you're lucky. I had frozen chicken tenders.
I love chicken tenders.
But they're like, well, they're not like bad for you, but they are. I'm not explaining it, but they're so good. And I got that sauce you put me on, the barbecue sauce, the sugar free. It's the sweet and spicy one.
I love it. That was my favorite. Is it the G Hughes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
those things
eat
are
like a third of the bottle every time I have a meal.
He has honey mustard too.
Oh, I love honey mustard, but the barbecue sauce, dude, is that one in specific is like my kryptonite. It's so fucking good. And then they have a steak sauce too.
Do they? All right. I need your opinion. I think if a steak needs steak sauce, it's not a good steak.
I see where you're coming from. However, I don't have any cooking skills.
Oh, okay.
the
So you're
steak
making them
always
yourself.
needs-
Like
yeah. The steak always needs steak sauce to be edible.
you like yours done
Medium rare to medium. Probably medium, I'd say. I don't like too much red, but I don't like it well done at all.
Well done is bad.
I hate well done.
I even think medium's a little too much for me. I'm medium rare, kind of elitist. I don't eat steak frequently at all, though.
Ooh.
Maybe like 3 or 4 times a year.
Ooh, I eat it 3 or 4 times a week.
Really?
At least, yes. Probably more. Probably 5 times
I'm
a week.
afraid to cook it. I've never cooked steak before.
It's not hard to cook. And my cholesterol's not doing great though. So
Eating all that red meat.
yeah, I got my results and I was like, oh, I should probably chill out. But at the same time, I do more research on like cholesterol, and I don't really know if it's. I have 105 cholesterol, and the limit's like 102 or something. I don't really think it's all that bad. But even like high cholesterol is not really all that. I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't seem like it's all that bad. I like looking at my results. I look at them like every day.
Just look at me go.
It just fascinates me. Like that's my body, like my blood. You need to get your shit done. Just to see.
I can't afford to get it done. I have to pay 2 medical bills.
You cheapskate.
I can't. I'm broke as fuck right now.
How?
I had to pay $1,600 for a plane ticket. Now I got to pay $200 for medical bills that I didn't know were coming. And they're here, sitting on my desk.
Yeah, that's how much are your medical bills?
Just under 200.
Wow, fucking get out! It's $100 for the fucking test, you fucker.
It's fucking expensive.
Let me build it for you.
No.
Save my cholesterol.
Oh, it's in bold and it says high.
And then if you look down here, I have high testosterone.
What did you say? It's like 1,200.
No,
Oh, testosterone 11, 15, high. Free testosterone 29.9,
I'm fucking
high.
doing something so right.
Yeah, you're kind of killing it in the blood work
I
game.
know. So this feels so good for me to see what I'm doing is actually working. I'm not just feeling like it's working. And my where is it at? That's not on here. All my liver markers got better too.
You hop off the
The orals.
trenbolone.
Yeah. Yeah. And on my CMP, my metabolic panel, everything improved as well. So like my glucose, my BUN, my creatinine, my EGFR, sodium, potassium, everything's gotten better.
So do you think that is you're more strict with your workout regimen, kind of paid more attention to your diet?
So much. Proper supplementation, diet for sure, lifting, intimacy with a female.
That's an interesting.
Just being honest.
I wonder if there's any like actual evidence to back that up.
Has to be, dude, because I feel so much more confident and so much more manly. You know what I mean? So
What was so last time you got your blood work done, you were not in a relationship.
mm-mm.
Do you remember what your test levels were?
Sub 600 or right around
So they
600.
doubled pretty much.
I'm just saying. I'm doing
I
something
can
right.
totally see how that would have an effect on you. I totally 100% can.
But I also take Tonkat Ali. I think I told you that. It's a natural supplement that increases your testosterone naturally, about like 15 to 20%. So that helped, obviously. But that zinc, magnesium, vitamin D3, all that in conjunction with each other, definitely had an effect. And then cutting out certain ingredients.
Like really
Helped.
processed foods can.
Yeah, I
fuck
limit
with,
my processed foods, but like specifically, I don't like seed oils, like canola oil, soy oil. All that stuff is so bad and it causes inflammation in your body. I feel so much better. Like I wish that everybody could feel like better like this, but they don't listen. They don't care. I don't think
It's
they care.
easier to not be healthy.
I know, but it feels so good.
Well, they don't know that though.
I know. Like, it just feels good. Like, it's so frustrating to me.
What's frustrating to me is somebody claims like they want to lose weight, or I've had this happen quite a few times. Someone will message me on Instagram and say like, "Hey, dude, can you get me like a workout regimen?"
Don't even fucking bother.
I did a few times. Like I
know.
went in, I built them a whole fucking thing, like how to work out, what exercises to do, a meal plan. I went the whole 9 yards. I sent it to them in a fucking PDF. And they're like, cool, thanks. And they just never fucking use it. I'm like, okay, I'm not wasting my time
Yep.
on this anymore. But I was getting at people who want to lose weight and then they're like, well, I just can't. I'm different. I'm like, no, you're not different. You're just
It's basic law of thermodynamics
you're
here.
just not educated on what to do,
Yeah.
and B, you don't want to do it.
And I think that the first point you made is extremely important to bring up. The lack of education on our health is horrifying.
The fucking food pyramid is still like
It's horrifying.
the thing that's taught in school. It's like, get all of this grain and bread in you.
No. First of all the bread that we eat has enriched wheat flour, which is very bad for your body. People don't know that.
Pick up a loaf of Wonder at the store. It's enriched white bullshit.
And it's got 80 ingredients. Why does my bread have 80 ingredients?
Your bread should have like 2-3 max.
A Chick-fil-A grilled chicken sandwich. Between the bun and the actual meat itself, guess how many ingredients are in there? And no, I'm not lying when I tell you this. You can look it up.
I'm gonna say we're 30.
110.
110 ingredients.
Yes. And that's not including the sauce that you're going to put on it, which has another 30.
So to me, what would make sense is the chicken has maybe 3-4 ingredients, like chicken included. You gotta I'm assuming they marinate it in some way or do
Yeah.
something, add some salt. But the bread has, to me, it would
I
make
think
sense
the
if
bread
the bread
had-
has that many.
The bread had like 60.
Bro, why does the chicken have 50 ingredients?
You got me.
Are they including the fucking testosterone they pump the chickens full of?
Let's see. So let's see just some of them. Because I'm curious. I didn't look what they were. But I looked it up. And I read, I saw it, but I didn't read what they were. Chick-fil-A.
I'm so curious. Like, what kind of bullshit are they packing in here?
They even want to fucking say.
They want to keep it under wraps.
Yeah, pretty much. Here it is. So Chick-fil-A, just the breast fillet is 100% natural whole breast chicken fillet. Seasoning, salt, monosodium glutamate, sugar, spices, paprika, seasoned coater, enriched bleached flour, malted barley flour, niacin, iron, thiamine, mononitrate riboflavin, folic acid, sugar, salt, monosodium glutamate again, non-fat milk, leavening, baking soda, sodium aluminum phosphate, monocalcium phosphate, spice, soybean oil, color, paprika, milk wash, water, whole powdered egg, peanut oil, refined peanut oil, citric acid, cucumbers, water, vinegar, salt, chloride, alum.
Cucumbers.
I don't fucking know why it says cucumbers, but it's in there. Sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate, natural flavors, polysorbate 80, yellow 5, blue 5. Why is there artificial colors in my grilled chicken sandwich, first of all?
Why is there? Yeah, that's.
Butter flavored vegetable oil, hydrogenated soybean oil, palm kernel oil. I'm not going to go through all of them. Lecithin, artificial flavor, TBHQ, citric acid, artificial color. Fucking crazy.
I like the generic ones like color, natural flavor,
Yeah, I know.
artificial color.
That's all it says. And then it goes on and on and on. Excuse me. It's a grilled chicken sandwich, guys. Just give me my fucking meat and my bun.
It should really just be like
Bread.
chicken breast, flour, salt, water,
Honey mustard.
and some honey mustard.
Yeah.
That like it should be pretty fucking basic.
I
I
don't
can't
get it.
believe the amount of shit that's packed into everything.
And what people think is healthy. Like when they go get a salad and they put half a bottle of Italian dressing on it.
Yeah,
Well, I'm having a salad.
liquids are dense. They're very
Oh my
dense and easy
God.
to pack calories into.
Mm-hmm. I take a shot or two of olive oil a day, and that's 250 calories right
That's
there.
crazy.
Mhm.
How
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons?
Yes.
And people
Douse their shit.
cook with that and they dump it in. And
People don't take into account olive oil, butter, all that shit adds up. Like if you get an English muffin, it's 140 calories, and you add a lot of butter to it, like most people do. That's another 80, 100 calories you just added. You don't even know it.
the thing's already probably like 300 calories.
So I just wish. I mean, there's no point to get angry about it because people aren't going to take their health into consideration because they smoke cigarettes all day and drink alcohol. But it's just like at least be knowledgeable on what you're doing and why do you feel that way?
I think the biggest issue is this shit isn't taught in schools at all. No one. It's hard to be educated about something you were never taught about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what we learned about the food pyramid in like 2nd grade, and then we didn't touch on healthy diets, I think, ever again in the entire time I went to school. That's like elementary school, middle school, grade school, all of it. High school, we didn't fucking touch on anything. We were never taught how to eat healthy or maybe cook your own food or what to look for.
It's sad. And then even when we do know, we're still a slave to the cookie system because I'm still down in shit I shouldn't every single day.
Goddamn Keebler M&M cookies, man. They have me by a stranglehold.
I got a Chips Ahoy chocolate chip fetish. I can't get rid of them.
Like standard blue package Chips Ahoy.
Just give them to me, dude.
They are so good.
And the extra chunky in the brown package.
I like the chewy.
I like the they have a chewy with a fudge center.
Yeah.
Chocolate chip.
Yeah, I've had it.
I see. I have a problem.
They had it was like a standard. It was like a chunky, but they had Reese cups in it. Man, it was.
I'm happy you're a cookie monster like me
It's so
because I have a
bad.
problem. I had 4 today. See, I still eat like shit to an extent, but God, dude, I had 4 Chips Ahoy cookies in the morning, and then I had 2 Fresh Time chocolate chip cookies that were that big
Yeah.
before
probably.
12 o'clock. You know, like I could do so much better, but I don't want to. I'm happy with my cookies.
Cookies aren't great, but at least you aren't going and Maybe for breakfast you stop in at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Lunch you walk into the thing and pick up a Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl or a, I don't know, whatever the fuck they
Even a
have in there.
Starbucks coffee.
Starbucks coffee
Nobody realizes
is
this.
fucking packed with
Yes.
sugar.
Sugar, fat, and all this shit.
I ordered online. I was with Matt and we were going through the Starbucks drive-through and he ordered on the app. And on the app you get a choice of like how much pumps of each thing you get. And the standard pumps for what I got, I always get a white chocolate mocha. I get the small
I love
too.
the white chocolate mocha.
It's like 4 pumps of this, 3 of this, 4 of this, 5 of this. And I saw that and I was like, holy shit. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, put those down. I don't want all that stuff. And it tasted, I would say, better because I didn't get fucked by sweetness in the mouth.
Yeah. I didn't realize until probably a year ago how bad this was. But I would go to like Starbucks and I would get the mocha cookie crumble.
Oh my God,
Frappe.
dude, those fraps are, I don't get them. I never got in the habit of getting them.
Please don't.
But fuck, it looks like they pack a buffet in there.
It's pretty bad. It's really, really bad actually. And I didn't realize this until like I knew it was probably bad, like it was high in sugar. I was like, yeah, it's probably got like 40, 50 grams. No.
Oh God.
It's got over 80.
Oh my God.
I was thinking 40. Fuck, this is bad. No, it's over 80. Just
Yeah.
for like the medium.
You ever visualized
I've seen
How
like
much?
Yep.
one
much?
cube of sugar is a
Oh.
gram of sugar?
And they just throw like 80 of those in there.
That wouldn't even fit in the cup.
I don't
That
get
would
it.
that would overflow this cup.
It's so bad, but like your typical, like I don't know, like your Starbucks girls that like run to Starbucks and pick up their morning, whatever. Like you just start your day off the worst way you could possibly start it, and you don't even know it,
Right.
and you wonder why you have so much body fat, or you feel like shit, or you just look like crap. Like it's frustrating because you like your friends and your family you see are so unhealthy, and you want them to be healthy because for their own sake and for their longevity.
But if you come out and like start pushing for it, you're an asshole. And
Yes.
they can just live their life however they want.
Yep. And then another, I want to bring this up too before I forget. Something that's really benefited my mental health too is touching grass. Literally touching
Dude,
grass.
touch grass.
Literally.
That's like a bit.
I know, but it's so true. I just go outside barefoot and I take my shirt off and I sit in the sun and I just touch the grass and kind of like meditate. And I feel so much better every day.
I think it's so really, really beneficial to act, like just get outside a little bit.
100%.
When I was doing the coding boot camp, I was inside on my computer from the time I woke up, pretty much. I would start at 11 o'clock and we wouldn't get done until around 7 p.m. And like during breaks and stuff, I would just go outside and walk up and down the road a little bit. And it was so nice to get outside and get some sunlight, feel the wind.
Yeah, and listen to like the noises
Right.
of like the birds or whatever, or the owls. I like it. Makes me happy.
That's why I like backpacking. I bitch about it, and it's physically it sucks. It's really hard. It hurts. I always feel horrendous when we get back, but it is nice to just.
You're not setting yourself up here for.
No, I'm not. But it's
Feel
so
horrendous.
nice to just get out and disconnect because you usually don't get cell service out there.
It's a detox.
Yeah, we just sit around and goof off and fuck around.
Sometimes I wonder how much more pleasure I would get out of mundane things if I didn't have my cell phone. Because I'm just dopamine fucking my brain every day. Like, you know what I mean? I'm over flooding myself every day with short form content and even long form.
Yeah.
How much better would riding my motorcycle feel? How much better would, I don't know, just working out, anything feel?
Have you ever like ridden your motorcycle and do you ride with it in your pocket?
My phone, yeah.
Do you ever like feel it vibrate and you're like,
Uh-huh.
I wonder what that is?
And there's nothing.
I need to. I want to check.
Sometimes I do that and there's nothing there. That's a ghost vibration.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first thing I do when I feel that is I want to know what it is.
Yeah. The first thing I do when I get off the bike is check my phone. Like,
Mhm.
did I miss anything?
It's not good. But I have I just love my phone.
You too.
It's my favorite thing I own, I would say. As stupid as it sounds like, it brings me the most entertainment. Because I don't know. Like, if we existed without it before, we can do it now. But I don't want to.
I don't either.
I don't want a life without
I like
YouTube.
my phone.
Yeah. Imagine no YouTube when you're eating.
I don't know what I would do.
Or, yeah.
Do you watch YouTube on your phone while you eat?
Mm-hmm. I'm not a computer guy like you.
Man,
I just
you,
don't.
can,
I just,
you gotta upgrade to a big
but
screen.
I have my pop socket, so I just kind of put it like that, and it's like, I eat and I watch
sit
it.
at my desk, put on
Yeah.
YouTube.
yeah, I could do that. I don't know. I'm not on my computer as much. Once in a while I get on it. I don't really use it that much.
Every day. It's my best friend.
It's your buddy.
Bro, I need it.
What do you like about your computer that is different from your phone? Like, what makes that for you better? Because I never really understood it for myself.
I use them for different things.
It's like, what are
like-
you doing? You edit a lot on your computer.
That I never watch. My phone, I really only use for like talking in group chats, getting
Porn
on
and
social
stuff like
media.
that?
Yeah, getting on social media when you want to
Goon.
jork it a little bit. That's really what I use my phone for. And my computer is everything else, like games. I'll get on Discord and talk to my friends. I can look anything up. I got 2 monitors. I'm like, what's this over here? And what's this over
Yeah.
here?
But that's the one thing. You have friends you play games with on your computer, right?
Yeah, but I don't even play games that much. Really, I just go into Discord and talk, or they live stream the game and I'll watch.
So you have interaction though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really have computer friends like that. I never really did. So it's never like something that I associated with the computer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, that's part of it too.
I also use it for like recording guitar, music
Yeah.
stuff.
So you use it for a lot of activity.
Yeah, I do a lot with it.
I don't really have
I
much
mean-
purpose for, like you, for my computer.
You gotta find one. Maybe you really like. I don't know. Everything you can do on the computer, you can pretty much do on a phone.
That's what I do on my phone. It's just, for me, I think what I like about the phone is that I can just pick it up and anywhere I'm at and go scrolling with one hand. And like, I can watch Family Guy on it while I'm multitasking.
I'm a piece of shit, and I'll be watching anime, and then I'll be texting in group chat, so I have to have stimulation from what I'm watching, and then being on my
Yes.
phone.
And that's got to be so
That's
bad for
horrendous.
us.
It's so bad.
But like, I don't know how bad because I've never been without it. So I don't know. I've tried to give up social media for a week, and this was like 2 years ago. I lasted one day.
It's hard.
It's impossible. I know it's possible, but it felt impossible. Like, all I was thinking about was what's going on, what's happening.
Have you
What
ever
am I
worked
missing?
out without music?
I get such a good workout.
Without it?
Yeah. I'm focused. I'm so much
Really?
more focused. 100%. I know that sounds weird. If I forget my phone, like, I will purposely forget my phone upstairs and just be like, oh, I'll just leave it up here and I'll just mosey on downstairs and do my workout. I am so much more zoned in. And I don't know. I personally like the workout itself, but I don't like not having it because it forces me to focus on it.
What I really liked about working out at St. Thomas is the atmosphere of the gym was like really old school. The walls were painted brick. Everything was kind of old and made of metal, and we had a speaker system so you could plug your phone into the aux, and having like your own music playing around the
That's
gym
awesome.
at whatever volume you want while you're working out, nothing in your ears. I really, really enjoyed that.
I like having music when I work out, but that means my phone is by me, and I'll get on it between sets, and I'll push
Dude.
it too far.
After every set I get on, I'm searching for different songs to queue up, or
Do you ever rest longer than you wanted to because of your phone?
yeah.
I do that, and I don't like that. That's why I don't like having my phone, but I still do it. Like, I'll rest if I have like a 3-minute rest period. I'll get on there and I won't even be paying attention, and 5 minutes will go by.
Right.
I'll just be like, fuck, like, I just wasted potential in my workout. I hate doing that. I like to optimize my workouts now.
I do
and it
too. I've been
frustrates
doing
me.
30-second rests.
Oh, I hate short rest periods. I take a 2 to 3 minute rest on all my compound or big, like my rows, my bench presses.
For compounds, I do longer rests, but
Yeah.
anything auxiliary, I keep it pretty short.
It's like a curl or like stuff like that. You do 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
and
to try that.
I did supersets today.
I do a bit shorter rest period on isolation type movements, but it's not 30 seconds.
What's like your rep range?
I changed it literally yesterday. I was doing 10 to 12 basically on everything, but I wasn't getting stronger at the rate I thought I should be. So I moved it to 6 to 8 just literally yesterday.
From my understanding, 10 to 12 is good for,
Hypertrophy.
like forming the muscles,
Mm-hmm.
but 6 to 8 is good for getting stronger and building, making everything bigger.
Yeah. And I want to get stronger because nobody No, there's nobody small that's bench press 405 pounds.
Yeah.
I've never
You
seen a
gotta-
small guy. You know what I mean? Like really small, like scrawny. But I just feel good when I'm stronger. I feel like everything is easier for me. I mean, obviously, just like work and everything is just more simple. I want to build up my spinal erectors. I want to protect my lumbar spine. That's a goal of mine this year, from like degradation over time.
What you need is there's two machines at Powerhouse that I really like. One's a machine, the other is just an incline thing where you put your feet on the back of the pad. It goes onto your thighs. I usually get a plate and I'll like bend all the way down and come up.
Yeah, that would be great for it. I don't have money to buy that though.
That one, I feel like it would be pretty cheap. There's no
Really?
pulleys or anything. It's just a thing you kind of lock your feet into.
Mm.
Then you can
Well-
use whatever weight you want that you probably already have. You can.
I do sitting with like a plate, and I do that, which does work your obliques, but it does help your lumbar, your erectors. I mean, but decline sit-ups fucking massacre my lower back.
Really?
In a good way. Yeah, I activate them a lot. Like I decline the shit on my bench. Like I'm talking like that. Like it's not. I go all the way back, and it really works my lower back.
You have like a full rack, don't you?
Power rack, squat rack.
You ever do rack pulls?
No, I don't. I know they're good, but I can't figure them out to feel them where I should be.
I get the nastiest lower back bumps
I can't.
with rack pulls.
I've tried everything. I know I put it below my knees.
You got to do slightly above the knee.
Then I think maybe because my arms are so long, I'm not getting what you're getting out of it. You know what I mean?
You could bring your arms out more, so it shortens the
That's
length.
true. I never thought about that.
So when I do it, like, I'll put it slightly above my knee, grab the bar, and then I pull my chest back and kind of like my scapula, and I arch my back, and then I try and, like, if I can look in a mirror, I can. The bar should not go like this. I really focus on getting that bar just to come straight up, so that it's just pulling back and the bar just lifts
I'm
up.
doing something wrong 100%. I gotta be. Because I'm not feeling anything.
I
like
tried
that.
to teach that to my buddy Devin when he was kind of first getting in the gym, and it was weird to me how he couldn't grasp it, but I guess it seems like a fairly difficult exercise to
I don't know
really get the
why.
hang of.
That's like the only exercise I've ever done that other people I know are getting benefit out of that I'm just like, I don't feel this at all where I should.
I fucking love him. Love him.
Okay, what's your favorite exercise? What do you think? If you could choose one exercise to do for the rest of your life, that's all you can do, what would it be?
Can I choose a muscle group?
Sure.
Shoulders.
Shoulders? I
Right
like
now.
chest.
Well, it kind of fluctuates, but it's been shoulders for a minute.
I don't flat press anymore.
You know, I like it.
I don't think it's optimal. Like based off of studies and what I read, incline is optimal for growth.
I like incline.
I mean, I like flat press.
I think I have a hard time activating my chest when I am pressing, because I can flex my chest just fine, but I think when I have weight,
You're not.
I'm using more of my front
triceps and
delts.
shoulders. Yep, I have the same issue. That's why I like the machine. What do they call that? The fly machine. That's really good for. I always felt that really well.
Yeah, the fly machine's great.
I wish I had shit like that, but obviously I can't afford that. But I know if I get a gym membership, I might actually be consistent with it now. But I don't want to figure out.
If you're too afraid of Powerhouse, I've been so curious to try that 24-hour fitness.
It's $40 a month though.
Oh, that is kind of expensive.
I was
Well,
going to
I
get a
paid.
membership.
I think I paid $26 a month. I know Powerhouse went up.
Did it
Not for me, but for like new members.
really? What do they pay?
It's probably over 30.
Fuck that. I mean that's still pretty good actually. I mean even $40 is reasonable. I just don't want to spend $40 a month.
I feel it.
I'm also cheap now, kind of.
Welcome to the club, dude.
I know because I have to be, because we're poor.
Yes.
It hurts.
Yeah, it sucks.
I know. Whatever. Well,
Yeah, let's
What
wrap
time?
this up. 10:01.
yeah, we did good. 2 hours, 2.5.
All right.
We're exhausted.
Yeah,
I am at least.
And you can count
I'm gonna end with a message.
all the way
Go
up to
for it.
2.
Don't only look at the surface level of things,
And get
and
deep with them.
get out your fucking shovel and do a little bit of digging.
All the way up
Yeah.
to 6 if I had
Yeah,
to.
and then yeah, what he said.